Hello, hello. Good morning. Today is Happy Tuesday. Happy Mars Day. I'm coming at you with another episode. Welcome. If you're new here, hi. My name is Kayla Cordero, born and raised in Brooklyn. I feel like I always have to say that because it's such a huge part of my identity. And I am currently residing in Florida. So I am on my morning walk right now. And this weather is my favorite. You know, I've come to appreciate the warmer temps here in Florida. If you know, you know. And fall is actually my favorite. And so I really miss autumn in New York. There's nothing like it. But we create our own reality over here. So I decided to enjoy and do what works for me. And my morning walks have been a game changer. If you've listened to the last couple of episodes, I talk a lot about my morning walks there. But if you are new here, hi, so happy to have you part of the Vow to Be Fierce community, fam. We are happy to have you. Excuse me. Ooh. Oh, God. And if you're not new, and if you're one of my OG listeners, I am so grateful for you. I truly am. I have like the best community ever. It's filled with amazing, powerful, strong, magnetic, like the force is with my community, okay? Each and every individual has their own story and like their essence of what makes them them, and I love that for you. And I try to create spaces that honor that. And because of my own journey, my mission is to create spaces where we can be in our fullest expression. And what that looks like is different for everybody. But yeah, so hi. I'm coming on. This time it really is going to be a short podcast episode because everybody knows when I start it that way, it ends up being 20 minutes or longer. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. But I'm coming on because one of my dear listeners, shout out to you, boo. I see you. I'm rooting for you. I love you. One of my listeners shared with me how the latest podcast episodes that I've been posting have really like hit for them, and they've been really inspiring and like helping them on their journey. And I thanked them because I was like, ooh, thank you, because you have no idea what it is to know that when you're creating something, it's your baby, right? For me anyway. And I create it from my soul. I create it from my heart. Not because of money, not because I have to, not for likes, not for anything like outside of myself and my mission of this is what I'm experiencing, and hey, maybe it can help someone else, right? And so when I do hear that it does and it resonates, it fuels me. It fuels me. And I'm sharing that because I told this person, thank you so much for sharing with me your feedback, because it motivates me to continue. And I want to be clear here. Even if I get feedback or not, even if I hear those wonderful messages or not, I'm still going to continue showing up. Even if I had no listeners, if I have one, if I have two, it doesn't matter. I'm going to still show up because that's me and that's what I'm here to do. And it took me a long time to realize it. For me, it's never been about numbers, right? But I have had a lot more clarity now and confidence to step into my power of expression. And I really do want to make impact, and I really do want to spread the love, right? And spread the belief that, like, yo, we can all rise and we can do it together. Okay, so I share this to say also that I wanted to sit with what she said about that I was inspiring, or that the episodes were inspiring. And let me tell you how the little girl in me really smiled, because I have always been a person that, like, I love learning. I love looking outside and, like, observing and seeing and, learning from other people, but also just the world and relationships in general are such a learning vessel for me. And I find so many people inspiring, like so many people, excuse me, their stories, what they've created in their lives, like the impact that they make. Like, and when I think about it, a lot of the people that I find inspiring, they haven't had an easy road, right? Because we tend to look at people who we resonate with, and their story doesn't have to be exactly like ours, but I think there's always like a common theme or a common thread that I had to pause for a second because something was happening. I had to, like, clear some throat chakra stuff. This is just telling me that I need to continue on. And remembering that the most inspiring person you will ever meet is yourself. Okay? And I see this because the other day I was creating a vision board with Zoe. If you're if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I talked a little bit about this. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, definitely follow me at About to Be Fierce. But as I was, I am not new to vision boards. I always made my friends do it, and my family, and, like, people close to me, and, like, I love it. I grew up, flipping through magazines, which is what sparked for me to want to create a magazine, because I know I know what it does, right? And, like, a little companion, I should say, or a little thing with, like, articles and recipes and things to learn and pictures and visuals that are beautiful and, like, all that good stuff. I was so into it. And I love the idea of bringing that to others. And so, but, a lot of magazines growing up, there was not that much representation. And I'm pausing right now because I'm like, oh, where is Spirit taking me right now? I'm talking about something, and I'm feeling in another direction. Okay, that's where we're gonna go. That's where we're going. So, and this is why I think cultivating intentional community is so important to me. Because there are tons of communities out there. There are tons of resources, right? Magazines, books, all the things. There's so much information out there. And depending on the type of person you are, you can be susceptible to taking on things and, like, learning things that maybe are helpful for you, or maybe they're not helpful for you, but you try to implement these things because you think this is the way. And so part of my mission and my vision, because I have not written a Vow to Be Fierce mission statement, because I have written one over and over again, and it's always changing, it's always evolving, right? And so I have this thing where I don't want to commit and like put one and like, but that's my own thing. And this is where I'm like, you need to give yourself a chance to evolve. You need to give yourself permission to change things up. And I see this gorgeous dog right now. Hi, beautiful. Oh my goodness. It looks like an Alaskan Husky. And I have always wanted one since I was little. But anyway, that didn't happen. So, as I move on this journey, I get even more clear about my purpose. I get even more clear about, okay, what is it and what am I doing? All that stuff, right? And like, what do I actually want to create? What type of space do I want to create? How do I want to feel? How do I want people to feel? And what's really important to me is celebrating different types of identities and celebrating our differences. Because what I've learned is everyone is different. Everyone is different. Everybody has a different story. Everybody has a different background. They come from a different culture. And all of that is so beautiful and wonderful. And we should celebrate that because there is so much division. There is so much hate. And it's like, I don't really think that this is what the Creator intended. Interesting. However, I think it's a beautiful thing and a beautiful time for us to wake the hell up. Wake up. Wake up and really stand, like decide what you want to stand for. What are your values? How are you humaning? I think that's going to be the title of this episode. How are you humaning in the world? And it's like, how are you living? Because how you do that really depends on, like, you have the opportunity to steer your energy, right? If you listen to the last episode, I was talking about energy and presence and how powerful it is, right? And I was listening to it again, and of course I get so in my head, and I'm like, well, I could have went a little deeper on this. I could have went a little bit deeper on that. And I was like, okay, let's stop, because you could always do a part 2, okay? But I share all of this to tell you that if you're like trying to do something, do not wait. Do not wait for the perfect time. Do not wait for when you feel completely ready. Start with what you have right now. And it's so simple, but how are we humaning? Sometimes we humans like to make things a little bit more difficult than they need to be. Sometimes a lot more difficult than they need to be. Okay? This is why surrounding yourself with community and people around you that get it, that are on the same wave as you, not the same way as you. They don't have to have the same story. They don't have to have the same background. They don't have to have the same anything. But what ties you together are values. What ties you together is like, oh, I want to do something bigger. There's something bigger than me. And yeah, I don't know where this was going, but that's where we landed. Sometimes we highlight the little things and forget the bigger picture. We get so stuck in the details of how something isn't working, of how something isn't looking the way we planned, of how blah, blah, blah. Then we forget we're still here. We are still here. And not only are you still here, but those challenges, those barriers, every experience comes with the opportunity to have learned something. So what the heck have we learned? Have we learned? Because if we haven't learned, we already know. It's going to come right back. It's going to come back. This is why patterns and cycles are so important to look at. And it's not always easy to do that. It's not. Not always. No, it's not easy at all to do that, especially when you've been functioning a certain way for such a long time. This is why intentional community is very important, because on days you forget, on days when you feel like you're alone, on days when you feel isolated, on days there will be someone in your community who can come through and bless you with the word, bless you with the prayer, an inspiration, send you a song. This is what I'm always saying, like, yo, if this episode helped you in any way, like, pass it on, share it in your stories, share it with one of your friends, share it with whoever. Because you know how many times someone has shared something with me that like really helped me? It could be a song, it could be a YouTube video, a prayer, another podcast episode, a book, any type of resource. That's what we have. Because there's so much at our fingertips, I really do believe that we have angels among us. And those are the people within our community. Because no matter how hard things get, no matter how tough things get, we are still here. So what are we going to do with the time that we do have here? How do we want to human? And, again, in all transparency, I share my process with you. I'm sharing all of this and I'm like, oh, I love where we landed. And also, how does this tie everything together, right? Like, I started off thinking we're going to talk about one thing, and I just follow. I think I'm still in that a little bit of resistance of trusting my inner knowing and going with my flow. Like, I like to say that, and I really do operate in that way when I'm not thinking so much, and when I just act from instinct, I always end up where I need to be. It's when I start overthinking and overanalyzing the things that gets me stuck. But I know this about myself. So when that happens, I have to interrupt it. And yeah, maybe even voicing it to you, talking about it, getting it out of my head, out of my body. And like, take it, universe. Like the birds are singing right now. Okay, take it. Take whatever it is and go. Okay? Because I have stuff to get back to. And that's it. Because if I don't do that, then I'm just going to replay the loop over and over and over again. And what is that doing? I'm not going to say it's not doing anything, because it does something. But it doesn't do anything good. It's not medicine for me. It's more like poison. And I share all of this to remind you that you have the power to human however you want, however you think. And that journey is messy. That journey is messy because figuring it out, first of all, nobody's freaking perfect. And I think trying to act like we all get it right the first time, it just allows for more judgment, more hate, more misunderstandings. But when we come from a learning place. The other day I was like, yo, I'm a student for life, okay? Student of life for life. And that means that I'm always learning. I'm always open to how I showed up. Maybe it wasn't right. Maybe what I said didn't come out the way I intended. Maybe I didn't make the best decision. Okay, learn from that. Now move forward. How have I been doing things? Okay, boom. And also, a really good student knows that they have the potential to be a teacher as well. And so if we all came from this perspective that we are all students for life and we are all open to learning, think of how much more compassion, much more empathy we would have in this world. Because then we would realize, oh, wait a minute. We're not all that different. Our journeys are different. How we do things are different. Our personalities are different. But you overcame that story. So did I. Or you went through this. So did I. Let's band together. Let's take our differences and collaborate. How can we make whatever it is that we want to do? How can we make it better? So shout out to my listener, girl. You got me going one way and I came through and I shared something else. And I'm happy with it. So I love you. I'm wishing you a day full of restorative healing, if that's what you need. Some energy your way if you're feeling a bit tired. I hope you get whatever it is that you need to get through the day and to keep rising up, because you will, because you can, and we will do it together. Okay? About to be fierce. Okay, I love you so much. Bye.